You are correct in saying that this is an Elden Ring, but there's another point that you should be making, A-Gaming, and that is that this is not the remastered version. Those of you watching live will be able to see that I've actually selected the remastered version in the Twitch information, but I'm actually playing the original Prepare to Die edition. Why? It's because no one's watching the original Prepare to Die edition. If they actually give you two options to choose from, people are just going to choose the remastered version as far as things that they're going to watch are concerned. So, yeah, the original version is not different enough from the remastered version to justify having a completely separate viewing thing. So, or rather, different category is what I mean to say. So, this will also be an opportunity for people who would otherwise only ever watch the remastered version and perhaps don't even know what the original version looks like. This will be an opportunity for them to realize that there's almost no fucking change at all. And I think that really needs to be driven home, because the remastered version of Dark Souls, barely an improvement, to be honest, and also came with its own issues. Can you imagine, just for a moment, a game that was barely improved with its remastered version, like, considering that the remastered version, I think, only came out 7 years after the original came out, and it actually created more issues. It would have solved some problems, for sure. I think the game runs a little more smoothly. And, you know, you've probably got better features like built-in borderless windowed mode, things like that, things that you would expect with modern gaming. And I do recall that they added some very, very slight quality of life improvements to the remaster, but they were slight and situational. But to actually create additional issues, like additional exploits, for example, that is extraordinary. I don't know what From Software were thinking, but I mean, I get where they were coming from, and I suppose you could argue that they made a good decision to come out with a remastered version because it was successful. A lot of people bought it. And possibly more importantly, they were able to put it on more systems, like the Nintendo Switch, for example. So I suppose in that way it was a good decision. So what I'm actually going to be doing here is deleting a character that I was going to do offline myself. That was going to be my plan. And then I decided, well, wait, hold on. I was talking in previous videos about how I was likely to struggle to record this game due to the limited number of characters that I can make. And so this is the perfect opportunity for me to actually do it on camera. So I will delete this. I'm going to go over this again because I'm going to have a specific point where my VOD begins, and I've decided that I am going to explain this part again for the VOD viewers. Essentially, I made a mistake with my pyromancy build that I had created to get all of the pyromancies for purposes of getting all achievements in the game. And so I'm making it again. I'll go over the mistake that I made soon. I'm going to delete that. And we're going to make it again. We're going to use the same name. Bathalololo. Come on, I'm pressing the buttons. Have I frozen the game? This is actually really incredible. I've frozen the game. By typing Bartholomeo, I have actually frozen the game, and you may not believe me when I say that, but I'm honest to God telling you now, from the bottom of my heart, that this game is just frozen. Which is crazy. I mean, here I was trying to show people that there's nothing wrong with the original version. Why play the remastered version? Of course, you should play the remastered version. It's actually very expensive now, I think, to get the original PC version because it's considered collectible. But yeah, if you do have the original PC version, there's no reason necessarily to play the remastered version, but it's just frozen on me, so I'm going to have to close it and reopen. That is my only recourse at this stage. That's working very well, Doomlink. What an excellent start to the live stream, honestly. But yeah, I had made a mistake with the Ascended Pyromancy Flame, because it had been many years since I had played Dark Souls before that point. And, or since I had played it at that time. And, yeah, I forgot that actually intelligence doesn't boost the magic adjust of pyromancies when using the Ascended Flame, even though it does actually have a scaling with intelligence. I think it only increases the damage of your punch, with the pyromancy flame. So that was a mistake. I have decided to rectify that mistake by making a new character, so I'm going to do that now, obviously. You can actually see that I'm running the patch A-Gaming. It says DS Fix enabled next to Dark Souls, the logo. Okay, so what I want to do is ensure that, well, no, it will go in the right slot, I think. Yeah, see, I've got an empty slot there, so it will go there. I just wanted to make sure that it was going to end up where I had originally placed it. Okay. Bartholomeus. Why is it? Oh, maybe that was my mistake. I needed to hit enter on the... Yeah, okay, I don't think I had actually frozen the game. I think I just needed to hit enter. It was just very confusing because it wasn't letting me go back at all. So I had hit the character limit, right? And then it didn't actually let me remove any of the characters. My only option was to hit enter to confirm my input. That's very confusing, but I worked it out in the end. We're going to go with a hunter, just because of the starting dexterity, and because it doesn't really have any points in intelligence or faith. We don't have a reason to put any points into intelligence or faith for this build. Oh yeah, I'm just going to stick with an average build. My face is going to be randomized. Well, let's select hair first. It's actually much easier to see if a face is good or bad when you've got the hairstyle that you intend to use. That's fine. The color can be grey. And we're going to have a random face. Just going to do that for a while. That's fine. That looks quite similar to the standard one, I think, but whatever. At least it's not the actual default face. I don't really want any default faces. If you're fixing to make a very customized appearance for your character in a Dark Souls... In an age... Shut up. Like, seriously, the reason why I reacted in that way was because it was much too loud. Apparently it looks like Frank West from Dead Rising. Okay. As you do. Just making sure that... Oh, yes, that's why. I was reacting to a perceived lower frame rate to what I'm used to, but I think it's because of the display that I'm using. You guys should be seeing this in 60. If it doesn't feel like 60, however, do let me know. It must be. There would be no reason for it not to be. But yeah, here we are in the build. As I say, I wasn't really expecting to be able to make a new build here. Well, actually, I did have one character slot that I had reserved for another playthrough. But this just felt like a really good opportunity, because I was otherwise just going to do it in my own time. So, yeah, we'll be working on mostly dexterity-related stuff to start with, obviously, because I haven't actually chosen the Pyromancer. So, that means we will have to free whatever that guy's name is. I'm sorry to hear that you're getting 10 FPS, that is... I do realize that it's a joke, but if it were not a joke, that would be truly miserable. What was I saying? Whatever it was I was saying, oh yes, relating to freeing that guy, yeah. So the guy who gives you the Pyromancy Flame, regardless of what build you're using, he is someone I'm going to have to rescue. And up until that point, or rather until that point, this will just be a standard dexterity build. Yes, I am no hollow. Give me the Estus Flask. Hurry up. Many, many years ago I was somewhat emotionally attached to that guy. In that maybe I should actually change to a sword. Did I not pick up the sword? Where's the sword? So I got the shield, where's the sword? How could I miss that? Am I crazy or what's going on? I must be distracted by something. Where's the fucking sword? Here it is. God. Here I am obviously subconsciously thinking, oh, that's not an important pickup. Well, it actually is when your only weapon is a fucking short sword. Oh, sorry, not a short sword, but a straight sword hilt. The blade is broken. Doesn't do any damage, so I do need at least something basic. Very good. Why is Doomlink not targeting the enemies? Because he doesn't feel like it. How about that? Can you handle that? That's obviously not going to continue for very long. I will target enemies when I actually intend to have a serious confrontation with them, but... I actually don't like parrying these enemies because it's not really worth it. It's just better to do something like this. Ugh, I'm much too heavy. Wasn't expecting you to track me like that. Congratulations. Pacifist playthrough with Broken Straight-Sword. That would be good. I like to say Broken Straight-Sword rather than Straight-Sword Hilt. Because, I mean, it is descriptive enough. It is essentially saying that there is no blade. But I prefer the word broken. Because you can see that there is a broken blade there. It's not just the hilt, strictly speaking. I decided to just take that head on because I was greedy. I'll go two-handed with you. I don't really need to be shielding. Wasn't expecting you to be so docile, Asylum Demon. Yeah, it's really interesting how even though I've got a 60 Hz display in front of me now, it feels worse than this higher refresh rate display to my left, yet it's running at 60 FPS. That doesn't really make sense to me. Maybe someone with a better understanding of how displays work would not find that strange, but to me, just because it has the potential to run at a higher refresh rate, surely that's not going to affect how 60 FPS is actually viewed, because if it tops out at 60 Hz, it should be able to do 60 FPS, right? I mean, that's the display I've got in front of me, but yeah, it is measurably worse. So, there you have it. I only mention it because, you know, if I'm using this to determine whether or not you're getting a good viewing experience, if I were to actually go based on what I'm looking at, it'd be a pretty shit viewing experience, but no, I don't think that's what you're seeing, so just as well. I've been told that, what, do I have thick thighs? Oh, you're referring to the Asylum Demon, okay. Well, that's a lovely observation. And thanks for including it in the chat. So when I start a build, it's usually pretty procedural. Like, I do have a specific way in which I start a build. I will get that humanity, I will come down here, mostly to get the Homeward Bones, which are in one of these chests. I don't know which one. This one. The other chests are really not very important. If I'm playing a New Game Plus playthrough, I will not open these other chests. And obviously I'm not going to get any use out of the cracked red eye orbs in this chest because I don't really have anyone to play online with. I don't know if the online is even working in this game anymore. It may not be. It may have been switched off. Do you recall when all of the Souls games had to go offline for a while? I think for like a year in the case of some of them. I think that happened with this game and then they just didn't have a reason to switch it back on. Prior to that, I think it was actually... Well, I think I was misinformed. I think I was told that it was working in tandem with the... I don't know why I'm fighting these guys, seriously. Yeah, I think I was told that it was working in tandem or in conjunction with the Dark Souls remastered servers, but it wasn't, I don't think. But yeah, you were still able to play with people online in this game up until the time that they shut down those servers like a year or two ago. So, yeah, it's a bit of a shame that I can't play online anymore, but that's alright. It's not required to enjoy the game, and yeah, it's just something that I'm willing to accept if I'm playing the original version. The source code wasn't leaked. It was that a very significant exploit was publicized, one that affected the... It had security implications, and that's my recollection of the event. And because the exploit was so drastically unacceptable, and indeed was present in all of the online Souls games, they all had to go offline. But no, I don't think it was that the source code was leaked. I think it may have been shown how to do the exploit. That might have been what it was. But primarily it was the very public nature in which it was revealed that the exploit could be done. So what I'm going to do... Oh, I don't like the amount of damage I'm taking from you. I can take it or leave it, really. Oh. Yes, alright. So what I'm going to do is try to pull all of the ghosts away from this pathway. Keeping an eye on my stamina, just to ensure that it doesn't completely run out, because if it does, this plan was a waste of time. Alright. So what I'm doing here is just getting the Firekeeper Soul just at the New Londo Ruin location. Just gives me a little boost to my Estus Flasks in the start of the game. I have no particular need for humanity there, so I'll just make it Estus Flasks and Homeward Bones. Homeward Bones are always good to have on hand. Reinforced, +1. Next, just for a few additional souls, I think you may have seen there that due to... I don't even think that was wall recovery, I think that was just a visual issue. I almost sent myself straight off the edge there, because of whatever was going on. When I say visual issue, I just mean it was distracting. Okay. We're getting the Soul of a Proud Knight that is just by the Undead Dragon, up this way. I think he is officially called the Undead Dragon. If I were minded to do so, I'd pick up his other things, but I'm not minded to do so. Depending on the build and depending on whether or not I think additional defense is helpful or necessary, I will sometimes get the Crimson Sorcerer armor set just in the Blighttown area, but I don't really feel that that's necessary. If I'm going to do a run to Ash Lake, I will usually get that, but I'm not doing a run to Ash Lake. I don't really have a reason to. Much time has passed, so I don't feel embarrassed to admit this, but I used to do a run to Ash Lake in the days of the Dragonhead Soul duplication glitch. So that was very much a thing that I could do without issue. You know, a run to Ash Lake without dying at, like, your starting soul level was a pretty skillful enterprise. It was something that required a bit of experience. Obviously not that much experience as compared to, like, doing a speedrun, but it did require a few runs to really understand where the risks were and how to avoid them. But yeah, so I'm actually, because it's a dexterity build, I'm going to get the Great Scythe. So, although, have I done, do you know what I'm actually going to do? Just bear with me for one moment. I'm going to check my channel. I'm going to see if I've done a dexterity build before in the first Dark Souls, and if I have, that probably means that I've already acquired the Great Scythe at the start of the game. I've done a rapier build and a dexterity build, so, and a pure bow build, so there is actually a fucking likelihood that I have not just once, but possibly twice or 3 times in this series acquired the Great Scythe at the start. So I'm not going to do it again if that's the case. No. We don't need to hear Doomlink from 2021 in our ears. I'm just having a look to see if I acquired the Great Scythe at the start. No. I did get the parrying dagger at the start, though. Okay. Oh, no, that's, well, yes, I would have done that, yeah. Sorry, I'm just making sure that you don't get the most repetitive livestream series ever put, I was about to say put to tape, which would have been a bit pathetic. How about the 360 one? Look, let's just not do... Yeah, I did get the Great Scythe. Okay. It's been done before, so let's not do it that way. Yes, I do realize I was increasing my resistance rather than my my strength. How about we take strength to 16 and get the Drake Sword? Do we want to do that? Or is there another dexterity weapon that I could possibly get? There is the halberd. Maybe, do you know what, let's do that. Let's get the halberd. I don't know what the requirements are for the halberd, but 16 is a pretty good strength stat, or an amount of strength to use just for general use. But I'm tempted to be a little stricter than that. Let's have a look and see what the requirements are. That is to say, stat requirements for the halberd. Where is my tab for Fextra Life? That's right, Doomlink uses Fextra Life. There are reasons why. Halberd. The requirements are, well, there you go, 16 strength and 12 dexterity. So even if I had just done 16 just as a hunch, just because I had an idea that it might be a good idea, or an inkling maybe that it would be a good idea rather than using the same word twice, that would have actually been successful. Am I killing Havel in this run? Yeah, I will, because it's just useful to have Havel's ring at the start. I see no reason not to kill him. Attunement will be important. Let's get attunement to 10 just to start with, and then... well, no, let's get endurance initially. Obviously, we're at the start of the game, so high health isn't all that important. So... I will focus on endurance, largely for not so much stamina, but instead equip load. Well, to be honest, when you're at the start of the game, gaming, backstabbing him to death is really the only sensible strategy to employ. Because if you try to fight him normally, I mean, this is with the understanding that he has a lot of health and can one-shot you, so... I will always struggle with that double tapping the circle button. It was a very good implementation to change that. I say that without reservation. Don't worry, I didn't actually press... is it L3 or R3 to jump in the later games? I didn't do that. Be assured of that fact. I just sometimes mess up my circle jump. The reason why I'm doing this is just to get a Ring of Sacrifice. Otherwise, there's a possibility that I will not actually pick one up at all by the time I get to the first confrontation with Seath. And I don't want that. Take it easy, guys. They're all congregating in one place. It's understandable as to why. And you as well. Or perhaps not. I knew that he'd managed to reach me, though. Well, I suppose the Zweihander might be a good choice as well to fight Havel, but for fairly obvious reasons, I'm not going to be getting that this time around. This arsehole's healing himself. You, get here now. If you do the two-handed R2 with the Zweihander, does that actually put Havel on the ground? I wonder. Death count 1. Pathetic. Quite frankly, I shouldn't have even died there. Dark Souls 2 is a bit of a different story, Nagakuka, but if you want to start keeping a death count for Dark Souls 1, you're going to be really bored. I do mean that genuinely. You're going to be really bored. How about this guy? Opens with, well, he's got some backstab resistance. We'll call it that. The terrain is working in his favor. Well, Dark Souls 2 does very much exist. I just... yeah, like, I will acknowledge it and play it and enjoy it even, but it is by a significant margin the worst of all of them. And I will never really understand why some people actually don't have a problem with it at all. I'm not sure what has actually led to that. But it fluctuates. It may even be accurate to say that it's a polarizing subject. I think some people actually really quite like Dark Souls 2, or despise it. It's the Devil May Cry 2 of the franchise. It is. It definitely is. Although I don't know if there is a contingent of people who actually really like Devil May Cry 2. To be honest, I couldn't remember which Devil May Cry was the bad one. I hope that you're correct in saying that it was 2. I'm going to assume that you are. Oh. Tricky Dicky. Alright. Is there anything I want from the male undead merchant? Probably. I don't need the residence key because that's for, I think his name is Griggs of Inheim. We don't need to rescue him. But... yeah, I don't really, well, no, I don't have a reason to get the orange soapstone. Can't afford the repair box. Alright, that's it. No souls for you, man. Mr. Guy. With the rotting skin. That is his official description. I'm going to light the bonfire, but I won't rest at it. If you want to know why, it's because I'm literally just trying to avoid a confrontation with 2 to 3 enemies just there. That's how lazy I am. I don't know if it can be described as laziness or what. Oh, mistimed that actually. Hello. You're not surprising anyone. Not today. I swear I saw something down there. I did. I saw an enemy. Are you usually there? I forgot about you. Can't remember everything, I guess. Whoa! I wasn't expecting that very well-timed firebomb. That came as a surprise. There we go. Managed to get both of them. I'm often banking on, like with a jump attack, hitting multiple enemies if they're all crowding together. Just feels like a more bombastic maneuver. Or perhaps dramatic. Bombastic almost feels more appropriate to describe the loudness of something. Goodbye. What have you got? Hollow Soldier Armor. That's going to be an improvement, I think. Yes. Upon what I have, although you can see that the increase in defense is minimal while the increase in weight is huge. Good day. So, if I do get the Black Knight sword, it may change my run. Just at least at the start. Just as a starting weapon. I think so. Should it? That is the question. Should it? Fucker. He tricked me, hey? And he turned himself very effectively. Alright. One more backstab and that'll do it. Yeah, that is the funny thing about backstabbing a Black Knight or a Silver Knight. It's not so much a backstab as it is a butt stab. Impaled in the rectum. It's a bit sad, really. Can I just say, for the record, that when you jump to the left like that while hugging the wall in the original PC version, well, the original version in general, you are usually able to avoid it. I don't know why it was unsuccessful that time, but I'm only doing what I've always done and it didn't work that time for some reason. I'm dying to stupid things, but I suppose that's to be expected when I'm recording. It's like it's similar to like in Monster Hunter when you're talking about the desire sensor. Same idea. If I'm recording, weird shit happens that just never happens when I'm playing solo. Ugh. I cannot understate how distracting it is to use this display when I'm used to my other one. But it's necessary for my recording setup. I'm going to dart my way through these enemies and get to the boss because I don't really want to spend time fighting them again. Alright, these guys... okay. They responded quite favourably to me though. Jump up onto here. Ooh, that roll there put me in an awkward position. Goodbye. I will deal with Havel, but not before taking care... wait, where's my soul? AKA Bloodstain. Fucking hell. Where is it? Must be where the Black Knight was. This is becoming absurd. Look at this. I'm being forced to retreat in this direction now. Because I realized that I had gone past my Bloodstain. There we go. Goodbye. You motherfucker! Look at you hiding in there. Oh, that was actually extremely chivalrous of you. He realized that he got a cheap shot on me. Or off on me. And turned his back to give me a free hit. That is exactly what I would expect of an honourable man. Well, gaming. So, don't take this as an unkind observation, but if I were to say the sentence, gonna be visiting America in about 3 weeks, any pubs or restaurants you would recommend, that would sound quite ridiculous, wouldn't it? Well, Australia's pretty big. So, yeah, where in Australia are you visiting? I'm not an authority on any place that's not Sydney, to be honest. Pretty much all over. Okay. Head to Newtown and go to Kelly's on King. And get a fucking pizza. And a pint of, well, maybe don't get a pint of anything that's on... well, no, on tap, yes, I'd say. They've got a very interesting bottle shop. They've got one of the most in-depth wine selection areas for a bottle shop that you've ever seen. And, yeah. Oh, wait, let me get my gold pine resin organised. One of my favourites in Newtown would be the Botany View. The Botany View Hotel is... let's just say it used to be my haunt. I used to live very close to it, and the Botany View Hotel, you can literally just go upstairs, sit on a lounge and have a drink. In your own room. Just, you know, don't have to book it, just turn up, sit in a room on a couch and just have a nice beer. I probably shouldn't be engaging him in this way. Let me go up here. Oh, he's chasing me very effectively, isn't he? Alright, he's done an attack there. I should have used that as a chance to go up the ladder. I guess I'm fighting him as normal now. Probably not a good idea. I was just distracted about what we were talking about. But yeah, Newtown's a good place to go. If you want, like, good drinks. Alternatively, well, I don't know. There's a lot of places you can go. I don't know if they have aged wine in Kelly's on King. I'm trying to think. But essentially, the selection is very, very specific. That's what I'll say. It will give you a full rundown of how each wine was made, and there's actually a system to show you, like, what wines are what. And it's indicated by, like, on the price tag, it'll have a color code, and then there'll actually be a key to show you what the colors mean. Like, it gets as detailed as, like, whether or not it's a skin contact wine, okay? So, yeah, it's very in-depth. I used to joke about it with my partner. I only drink skin contact wine. I'm not interested in anything else. But it's still pretty cool. Even though I used to make fun of it. Alright, so I haven't forgotten that I will go and have a brief discussion with Mr. Havel, which will result in me having a ring and him being dead. But I will level up first. How many times can I level up? A decent number of times. So I haven't forgotten... Oh, do you know what? I might go and get my halberd before talking to Havel. Let's take dexterity to 20? Are we going to go all in like that? Do you know what? We'll take dexterity to 20 and then leave it for a little while. Getting 20 dexterity at this point is simply too alluring to pass up. Well, an NTSC GameCube is a good gift. Well, hello. Because the PAL games are much too expensive. Whoa. Take it easy, guy. I do not like these rats, just to be very clear. They will poison you. I don't know if that's poison or toxin, in fact. It could be toxin. I understand that the indicator is almost the same, it's just there's a different color. Ooh. Unfortunately, I'm not going to find out. I think toxin might be a darker shade of purple. Something like that. It is poison. Alright. Just overthinking it. Alright, we've got a Black Knight up here who opens with a very dramatic attack. Or perhaps he's not guaranteed to, but... It's when he puts his sword behind him and drags it across the fucking ground, and then sends you flying into the air. If he opens with that attack, it's enough to give you a heart attack if you didn't realize that he was here in the first place. Alright, take it easy. The reason why that killed me was because it went straight through my shield. Hello, potato. I have not played Shadow of the Erdtree yet. I will get it when I feel like it. I'm still having a lot of fun with the base game of Elden Ring, to be honest. Apparently the DLC is very large. I was told that the DLC has weapons that are possibly a bit too strong. That's what I was told, but I suppose if they are actually deemed to be too strong, it will be balanced. Oh, what the fuck was that? Did you just see that? I'm sorry, I will not brook that kind of stupidity. He nearly pushed me off the fucking edge. Alright, you've poisoned me. Congratulations. Insufferable creature. You know, I'm flailing my fucking weapon around inanely. And not making contact at all. Stupid. Well, apparently the weapons have been nerfed already. Well, there you go. As I said, if they were actually deemed to be overpowered, From Software would do something about it. And they have. The question is, why do they suck so hard at balancing things at the start? Is he doing a follow-up? No, what are you doing? Oh, I was killed by the poison! That's what it was that killed me. I had a feeling. Seriously. Well, I didn't lose too many souls there. It was a few thousand. Something like that. Something along those lines. But I would still prefer not to have lost it. I think I'm going to run through these enemies now, because I'm mildly pissed. Oh no, you're going to walk in the other direction. Never mind. That is not going to be on the agenda after all. Because you... I think you are specifically designed to prevent me from running through the area. And so be it, quite frankly. These fuckers. You need to fuck right off. Again, I will not countenance this. I'm going back to the Alright, understood. I'm not going to walk through here. Or rather, run through here. I'm gonna have to fucking engage every single enemy. Every single one. Again. And I will fight that Black Knight because I want the extra souls. It's just frustrating that in the process of having done that before, I have now lost souls. Seriously. What the fuck was that? Did you see that wall recovery? Holy shit. Oh my god. This is a cursed fucking run. This run is cursed. I've never... I think I have enough on my channel to show that this is not typically how my runs go. This is... I'm quite sure that I have wall recovery off, do I not? Auto wall recovery is off, but it's shitting itself regardless. Oh. I feel like I'm playing Monster Hunter 1. It's alright, it's not like I lost souls or anything. Fuck off. It's like dogs, you know. The way that they hit you so quickly. They almost hit you before you can even perceive that an attack is coming out. It just happens, you get hit. I'm gonna keep myself fully healed for this. What are you opening with? That. The speed at which that he attacks you, actually, is part of what makes him difficult. It's immediate. He doesn't take the time to see if you're there or not. Fucker. Yeah, he doesn't take the time to realize that you've arrived, and then goes in for the attack. There's none of that. It's an immediate swing. If he opens with that attack, though, it's very scary, because imagine you've never been here before, and you're coming up these stairs, and he reacts immediately, and by the time you've seen, oh god, there's an enemy here, he's been dragging his sword, and then he will launch you into the fucking air. It is an extremely cinematic and indeed dramatic confrontation. And I believe in most scenarios it will one-shot you as well when he hits you with that attack. Well, there's not going to be a greatsword run. Or ultra greatsword rather. The Black Knight greatsword I may have been willing to I guess change my run in order to accommodate that weapon, but not the ultra greatsword. That would be ridiculous. Whoa! What are you doing, man? Alright, here's our halberd. Should be able to equip that without issues. 142 damage. Obviously, the Drake sword is better. But where's the fun in that? You are already coming after me. Alright, take it easy. I was really impressed with the Boulder Knights when I first came across them, playing through Dark Souls. They felt like really good fights for so early on in the game. I would say that the Boulder Knights are the first ones that really challenge you. As you can see, I have the advantage of range when it comes to using the halberd. What a beautiful weapon. When you two-hand it, it is so satisfying, because you see, if you one-hand it, you end up looking really... just give me a second to deal with this ranged prick. When you one-hand it, you look almost incapable of using it. Because your character stumbles very awkwardly when he swings it. But if you two-hand it, he can do it. Like, look at this. Oh no, he also looks ridiculous when he two-hands it. But if you make contact, that's the interesting thing about the halberd. The animation is different if you make contact. See? He stands there with it. That's such good attention to detail, isn't it? So if he makes contact, the actual force of his thrust is absorbed. But if it's not making contact with anything, he actually loses his balance slightly, and the same is the case with the two-handed motion. So, I like that. It's you. I might actually go to the... just because I don't have any healing wares, I am going to go to the bonfire first. I could have actually gone to Firelink Shrine instead, but that's alright. Is he chasing me? Come on, man. Look at him go. How far is he going to chase me? Yeah, I had a feeling he would leash there. That's why I wasn't concerned. I don't think he can even fit through the door. Or the archway. But yeah, I really like that attention to detail with weapon design. That's really good. They didn't have to do anything even remotely like that. That was... I did rest at the bonfire. I didn't realize that this guy... Well, A, he can actually get through the archway, and B, apparently he is completely independent of the area resetting as a result of resting at a bonfire, which is new information for me. If I did know that in the past, I bloody well didn't know about him. You can break his AI. Well, he looks pretty fucking broken to me. You can parry this guy. Unfortunately, you can't riposte. So, there you go. So, what do I want to do? Let's make our way... I'm pretty happy with this shield. Just think, oh no, it is 91 physical reduction, so maybe I will get the Drake shield. the reason why I didn't get the Drake shield was because I thought this was 100% physical guard block, which explains why I actually died shielding that Ultra Black Knight Greatsword before. So I will go and acquire that shield now. I'd prefer not to. I'll try to level up with all of my souls. Look, sometimes I can do the roll to avoid that claw. If you don't know what I'm talking about. Basically, you get the Drake shield from in front of the undead dragon, and when you do that, he wakes up. And you can roll through that claw. It's just I haven't done it recently, so I don't know if I'll get it right. Level up. Well, actually, I might have some souls to consume, so let's do that first. Oh, no, just literally that. Little baby soul, that's 200 souls for me. And just one level up. Okay. We're going to take endurance to 15 and then work on vitality and then work on attunement. My attunement, however, or rather my stat increases for attunement will only go so far as reaching the next slot. That was a bit scary. Get the knight armor for the clanking noise, okay. We all want the clanking noise, don't we? I have a feeling that the Hollow Soldier's armor set would probably sound the same, wouldn't it? Am I going to get a clanking noise? Yeah, clanking noise. That's what you want. Except that it's not. I lied. Back in the Valley of the Drakes. I'm wasting time, really. I should have done this from the beginning. So the Drake shield will be... Is it the Drake shield? No, Dragon Crest shield, sorry. Give you Drake shield. So it's the one that's closest. Let me ensure that I'm fast rolling. I'm wrong. Motherfucker. Okay, I did it once, but you can see that the claw is actually sustained, or at least as far as the hitbox is concerned, it is sustained. It's been so long, like, I actually couldn't remember if it was the left or the right one. I remembered it incorrectly, at least. I said, oh, this is the closest one. Oh, I could have actually used the Hollow Soldier shield, but... Well, this is better anyway. Or is it? Yeah, it is better. Alright. Am I going to go back? No, I'm not going to go back for 1,000 souls. Not when I'm about to kill the... whatever they're called. The gargoyles. Oh, I did forget to go and fight Havel. What's the fastest route to get to him? We could actually... Do you know what? We'll do the Darkroot Garden... Well, we'll take the Darkroot Garden path, is what I mean. Because we've already reached the Undead Parish. It would probably be faster to take that route anyway. Good night. Right in the fucking crotch. Look how much blood just came... splurging. Spurting? Maybe spurting. Splurge just sounds thicker. Oh, we've got the channeler trying to get involved in the action. No, we do not want him to make the undead enemies stronger. That is definitely not an attractive prospect. We've got a soul over here to pick up, and then we will engage the boss. I do have the key. It only requires the master key, A-Gaming. Or rather, if you have the master key, that's all you need. And I do have it. In fact, I did actually open the door, so maybe that's not what you're referring to. That is an annoying attack for him to open with. I shouldn't be doing this with this. So my frustration here is that I do not actually have much in the way of equip load. Oh, that's not good. I heal now. Hurry up. Alright, that's the most important thing. Just getting rid of one of them, you know. Goodbye. Ring the bell. Now I really don't know what you're talking about, A-Gaming. Because I did speak to Solar, so... Or can you actually summon him for that fight? That's interesting. If you can summon him for that fight... I forgot. Because I never summoned for that fight. It's just not necessary. Oh, come on. Alright. Bell has been rung. Yeah, it's faster to Homeward Bone. I don't need to speak to Mr. Oswald. That guy can bugger off. Now we've got this guy here. I'm not really interested in his services either. The services that he renders appertain to miracles and other divine things. Come on. Alright, so what we're doing is making our way to the Darkroot Garden. We will kill the Hydra, if we can. I think we can. But first, we will acquire the Havel's Ring from Havel. Sounds wrong to say the Havel's Ring. So just Havel's Ring will do. We don't actually have many souls at all. Sometimes I actually gather 20,000 so that I can do the soul farming. I will do that. But I'll try to get it from Havel and the Hydra. Well, I forgot about you. We'll get some from you as well. That could be about 5,000 from him. Although I could be wrong. You're really starting to annoy me. Come on. It's not necessarily expected that you kill this guy at this time, but there's no reason not to. I'm very familiar with the fight. I don't think it's really worth using gold pine resin. I don't think it's that effective. I don't think he's particularly weak to thunder. Because that's all pine resin does. It just gives you a bit of added thunder damage. Oh, not ideal. We're almost at half health. I'd say that's about half. I've got the stairs to actually serve as a lower ground. I mean, believe it or not, it's actually ideal to be below the monster. Having the higher ground is actually a disadvantage in the Souls series. Take that, Obi-Wan. Just a bit of patience is required. Really, that was still in effect. I know that that lasts for a while, but come on. I guess that's a good illustration of just how long that attack lasts. It had concluded like 2 full seconds earlier, and I still got hit. It's a multi-impact attack, so... Yes, that single attack didn't hurt much, but... Anyway. I said 5,000, it was actually 2,000. It's very interesting. So these enemies are actually weaker to piercing than slashing. That became immediately apparent when my thrusting attack actually dealt way more damage than my R2. My thrusting attack being R1. So you do naturally get an increase of damage from an R2 in general, but individual enemy resistances will always play a part. You'd think slashing would be more effective against a fucking tree because, you know, chopping down trees, but I guess thrusting. Very well. There is another Black Knight down there. I might fight him if I have killed Havel and killed the Hydra and still don't have enough souls. But, when I said thrusting, did it sound like pissing? Thrusting, pissing? Maybe that's my fault. Alright. I know you're hiding. I hate how he fucking hides there. He's hardening himself. Oh no, he's not. Thought he was. Just don't want you to swing your weapon. I will go two-handed with you. So, I wish that I were in a better area. Somewhere with a little bit more space, because I can chain stab Havel until the cows come home, but... Bit of an old-fashioned phrase. Oh, he's doing it. Or at least he's attempting to. I don't know if he's being successful. Basically, the R2 special attack of Havel's shield... Havel's Great Shield, I think it is officially called. It gives you, like, hardened skin, I think. Which increases poise, and possibly defense as well. But yeah, I don't mind chain stabbing this guy, it's just that he ends up traveling so far when you stab him that sometimes you don't have that opportunity to get behind him anymore. Oh. Oh, when he does that run attack, just managed to clip me with the edge of his fucking club. I hate that. That is so annoying. What an unfair attack. But yeah, you don't actually have much margin for error when it comes to fighting Havel at this stage in the game. Because it's not really intended that you kill him yet. You can see with all these backstabs it's taking a very long time for him to die. Or it was, rather. And he can one-shot you. But the ring is very useful. I don't find it that strange, to be honest, A-gaming. I think what they're doing is they're preventing you from getting to the Darkroot Garden too early. But I guess it is easy to get past him, isn't it? So, I suppose no matter what it is a strange decision, but anyway. Let's just get our souls back. That's actually the most important thing, really. And then just try again. Looks like my ankles are broken. Anyway. Just thought I'd make that observation. Fuck off, Havel. And we begin the dance again. 88 damage per impact. I don't know if there's a way to prevent him from... Yeah, see how he does that? Instead of just submitting to my chain stabs, he almost breaks out of his AI loop. Now he's turtling me. Oh, was affected by... Oof. Affected by, I don't know what you call that. I guess wind pressure, to use a Monster Hunter word. I'm sure there's a Souls-related word for it, I just don't know what it is. Believe it or not. Perhaps I could have used gold pine resin, that would have been a good idea. Although if I had used that in the previous confrontation, it would have been a waste, I think. Unless, of course, the amount of damage that I was dealing would have been so high that the number of successful backstabs that I would have gotten in that previous confrontation would have led to his death. So unless I managed to do that, it would have been a waste. I love how when you get behind him and backstab him, he actually looks around. That is if you... so when I'm doing the chain stabs, it's not that way, but if you're fighting him normally and then you get around him, you just see his head moving around to look for you like that. It's actually quite funny. And goodbye. Hamel's ring. A very useful ring in the early game. But yeah, if you're not chain backstabbing like that... Oh, I forgot about you. And your ranged attacks. Let's just move in this direction. That's going to be the best way to avoid it. I would caution you against fighting this monster unless you've got a... You know, like a 100 resistance. Physical resistance shield. I'm really hoping for these crystal assholes to get killed because I can't see shit. I actually couldn't see a thing. I got falcon punched, as you can see. Fucking nightmare situation. Also, these heads are messing with my camera. Ugh! Can you see how they're messing with my camera? It's almost enough to make you motion sick. How long is this going to take? It's going to take a while, but it's worth it for the souls. I don't know if I want to use a gold pine resin. One would assume that thunder would be effective against these guys. Ow. What's that about? Why did that hit me? Can you go? Be gone with you. Alright, he's dead now. Thank God for that. Are we going to use gold pine resin? I think so. I'd say it's worth it. Oh, don't fucking delay me. That's looking much better. That's just about doubled my damage, I think. So there are, of course, 2 Hydras in the game. This is the one that most people interact with because to actually get to the DLC he must be killed, whereas Ash Lake is an entirely optional area. There goes that head. Yeah, the gold pine resin is a real blessing. Oh, don't do that. It's so annoying when he does that. If you're standing here at the edge, he's never going to hit you with that ranged attack, but It is frustrating. Look how quick that attack came out. That was because my mobility was limited as a result of the shallow water here. There's another demonstration of it. I have to try to deal with that head on the far left. Look how far it goes. Things are going to slow down a little bit. Oh no, damage was still okay. Maybe it wasn't doubling my damage after all. What the fuck? Alright, so I got that head, thank god. That's one of the more annoying ones. Oh no, that's the fucking annoying one right there. How the hell am I supposed to hit that? It's like curling to the side in a way that I can't possibly hit. I'm going to have to use ranged weaponry for that shit. No. Oh my god. How annoying are you? I'm trying to reach this head. Can't deny that I'm trying my level best. Okay, that one's gone. I may have to snipe the other one. Just a fact of life. I mean, look at that shit. How am I supposed to reach that? Keep in mind, that's the edge. If I walk beyond that, I'm dead, so hitting you, I think, is going to require ranged combat. Just as well I have the hunter. Is 30 standard arrows going to be enough? That's the question. We shall find out. I'm going to try to hit him more than once per attack, just to be clear. Just to be very clear. Oh, this is going to be slow. It's doable though. 30 arrows should be enough. As long as I don't completely ruin my accuracy. By doing stupid things. Oh no. Okay, that's the end. So the HP of the head differed from the HP of the actual Hydra, which is good. So we cut off the head, and that was effective. So that's it for the Hydra. Let's Homeward Bone back. I'm not going to fight that big crystal thing that Duskavula Seal is stuck in. Not interested. Yeah, I suppose that's a good point. When you get that ranged attack coming after you from the Hydra, it is very much like being spat on. It's rather unpleasant. Crest of Artorias. Feels like a huge waste of souls in the early game. But you get access to some soul farming. So it's worthwhile. Apparently bombs are the best method. I don't know if I've done that. I may have done at one point in the past, but not recently. I'm assuming you mean fire bombs. I suppose he would be weak to fire as well. Sort of depends on the logic you want to deploy. You'd think that fire would be quite effective against a fish. But maybe the water actually protects it from the fire, I don't know. Because obviously it's very moist. Well, I'll give firebombs a try next time, but I feel like I'd have to buy quite a few. Unless I can just pick them up somewhere. Off the top of my head, I don't know where I can just pick them up. I don't have any at the moment. What's going on with you? Okay, I've had enough now. Very much had enough. Alright. Let's do some soul farming. Or at least a little bit, not much. But yeah, it feels like this this glitch is just as old as time itself. Almost don't remember a time before this was discovered. I think it was discovered in the first year of the game's release, if I remember correctly. I believe it was before the DLC came out. And if not before, then not long after. Most certainly. Was that all of them? I don't know. It didn't feel like all of them. So of course one of them actually doesn't respawn. It's the greatsword wielding guy with the heavy armor. Just making sure that they're all following me. Yep. The sorcerer, of course, is the most troublesome. And that is because he is ranged. So he actually thinks he can hit you from some distance. But then ends up standing on the stairs and casting magic at you with no possibility of him making contact. But he doesn't realize that. What he particularly doesn't realize is that he's wasting our time because we're just trying to get him to fall off the edge. So he is really the only reason why this glitch can at times be a little frustrating. He is the fly in the ointment, so to speak. So yeah, I don't usually abuse this too much, but it has become a bit of a standard practice in my builds. Come on. Fucker. Has that reset him enough? It has. You can also kick enemies off if you want. Like, that's assuming your shield's not very good or you're not using a shield for this glitch. You can just kick them off. Because by the time they've fallen down there, there's a big drop-off next to them. So, there you have it. Just to be clear, we spent 20,000 souls to get to this point, and we've pretty much already made 20,000 souls. We're sitting on 19,382 at this time, which we got back very quickly. I can possibly put on the Hollow Soldiers stuff now. Do you think we can? No, we can't. Damn it. Oh, we've got the assassin following very close behind. He's the most pursuant of all of them. Because he's actually going for backstabs. Oh, he's become a bit confused, I think. Oh, here we go. I was preempting him by assuming that he was not going to come. Just had to give him some time. Alright. Look how many times I can level up right there. That's crazy. So I said that we would take endurance to 15, attunement up to our next attunement slot, and then what do I want after that? I guess vitality needs a bit of attention. Yeah, that's brilliant. I'm so happy with that. That's excellent. Alright. So my stats are very comfortable at the moment. I will probably do some more soul farming a little bit later. What I will do for now, however, or do you know what? Let's do the Moonlight Butterfly. Because A, I think it's somewhat entertaining, and B, while I'm at soul level 25, the souls that I get from the Moonlight Butterfly will still be more or less worthwhile. Now I'm going to tell you, there is a problem with the original version, and that relates to what I'm doing here. So After doing reverse hollowing, I'm just going through all of these menu settings to try and prevent a glitch from happening. So, if you're playing the original version, and you conduct reverse hollowing, and then immediately quit out of the menu, you will be stuck sitting at the bonfire. And the only way to resolve it is to quit and reload. And I don't mean quit as in returning to the title screen, because you can't. The game isn't technically frozen, but you are stuck in that position and you have no option of opening a menu or anything. So, alright, maybe I'll deal with you just to be sure. Ooh. As soon as I see him cast Tranquil Walk of Peace, I'm going to get out of here. Have to really go two-handed to be effective against him. My timing is terrible. Oh, look at that attack. What a load of garbage. Did you see that? You know, I really do take exception to attacks that have completely resolved, like the animation has been completed, and then I walk into some kind of bullshit. Alright, he's got Tranquil Walk of Peace on, but... Shield! I'm playing his Tranquil Walk of Peace game because... Oh, you fucker! He just managed to get me. Yeah, he had low health, so I thought I'd give it a try, but... What a dick. What a dick. But yeah, that hitbox was disgusting. I don't know how many times I have to open menus and stuff, but I have actually had a scenario where I've like opened my level up menu, attempted to kindle, and then tried to stand up, and it still had me stuck sitting at the bonfire, so... I'm just playing it safe. How much humanity do I have? Not a huge amount. I'm not obliged to fight this enemy, but I sort of feel like I want to. Just letting him do the follow-up. Oh, he's got 3 attacks. Didn't know that. Alright, let's beat on him. This is where we need to get as much damage out as possible. Tranquil Walk of Peace, I have to tell you, is... Can I also tell you that that's actually not easy? What I just did there, my first... And I've got no humanity. My item discovery is 100. Yeah, first one that you kill, you get the Stone Greatsword. That's pretty crazy. This is a pretty decent weapon, but not something I'm going to be using here. You can see it's ideal for quality builds, but it has a very high strength requirement. I use it in my quality build for sure. My quality build actually uses the armor set here. The interesting thing about the armor set that this guy has is that it is the heaviest in the game. Oh, he's got a follow-up. Look at that. But yeah, the stone set that he's got, very, very heavy. He actually properly got me stuck there. I don't know why I'm even fighting them. It is absolutely not required to fight them. I'm just doing it for fun, but for some reason it's getting me killed. I think one of the reasons why is because I actually never fight them. So I don't really know how to. I mean, I'm not doing terribly, but... No, I am doing terribly, otherwise I wouldn't have died twice. I mean, the first death could be somewhat chalked up to the fact that there was a strange hitbox, but... As for the second one, that was entirely my fault. So I'll just have to try better. Well, actually, I won't do that. I just won't engage them like I normally do. I normally just avoid them completely because there's no reason to fight them, really. I don't think they give many souls. At least not compared to the amount of time that you end up spending fighting them. And, yeah. That's all there is to say. If you're wondering why I'm conducting reverse hollowing, it is because I'm summoning the Witch Beatrice for the Moonlight Butterfly. I would really caution a non-ranged player from fighting... Oh, you need to leash, mate. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. I'm going to go up here just so that he leashes, and she prioritizes getting up to me. Really? He's following me up the stairs? Fuck off. He just one-shot that guy. So yeah, come up here, please. The problem with the Moonlight Butterfly is that you get very limited opportunities to actually hit the Moonlight Butterfly, and then eventually it gears up to do something akin to that of Wrath of God. And it just... It's a very annoying fight, if you don't have Witch Beatrice. So... The idea is to position yourself as close to the Moonlight Butterfly as possible so that Witch Beatrice follows you and casts her magic. I'm going to keep myself fully healed just for good measure. I'm basically following the Moonlight Butterfly as closely as I can. What the fuck was that? Oh, coming down for an attack opportunity. I'll let you deal most of the damage. Alright, so I actually had plenty of time to get out of the way of that as soon as there's an indication that the attacker's coming. It's just been ages since I've fought this thing, so thought I'd play it extra safe. Oh my god. Possibly unfair of me to say this, but that was a really poor performance, Beatrice. I've seen you drop this fucking boss before it can even do its first attack opportunity animation. So I don't know what was... I guess you were having an off day. A little bit conceited given my performance in this recording, but... I don't know. Got the Divine Ember. We will use one of our Homeward Bones, because I'm not going to make my way back there manually. You're not forced to, but you're definitely given the opportunity to not, so it's probably better that you don't. We are not going to use the Soul of the Moonlight Butterfly for anything, so we will consume it. It's only 1,200 souls, it's almost nothing. You can see that I can actually get 2 level ups out of this, so I am quite glad that we killed this thing now, rather than... Well, we wouldn't have done it in the future. It wouldn't have been worth it. Alright, so... What should our focus be? More dexterity, perhaps? Maybe more vitality. Let's do attunement. While it's low. And when I say while it's low, I'm referring to how little you need to upgrade it to get the slots. I will be back in just a moment. Just need to deal with something. I've returned. I actually wasn't sure if I was going to have a functioning webcam there. Because sometimes when I walk in and out of my setup, the cable for my camera gets moved around and it causes it to actually disconnect. Didn't happen this time around, fortunately. Just a bit of hair adjustment. Alright. So, as I said, we will actually take the time to do some more soul farming later, just not right now. Because I'd rather progress through the game. And also, this is meant to be a Pyro/Dex build, and I don't have any Pyromancy yet. So we're actually going to fix that problem right now. It's not really a problem. It's just an observation that I've made. And it's not going to remain that way for very long. Some of you might agree that it's more fun to start off with Pyromancy, but I don't really want to. I think one of the reasons why I chose not to was because the Pyromancy build, as in class, Pyromancy class I should say, just to get my terminology correct. I think it starts with a bit of intelligence. Again, the reason why I chose this was because it didn't have many points in intelligence or faith. I really don't want any points in that. Alright, what's the best route to take? So, I should have the Lower Undeadburg key. Why do I not have it? Oh no, it is basement key. Sorry, I thought it was... I was looking for the words Lower Undeadburg, but it's actually just basement key. That's fine. Is this the quickest way to go? Probably not. Should I go the other way? Yeah, let's go the other way. I often don't go this way, but I think it's faster. So, I suppose I'll be fighting the Capra Demon. I'm really not that eager to do that. I'm not eager to fight him at all. I can get through there, I can just pull the lever. Let's do that. I'm sure the boar can be avoided without issue. Do you know what completely cures you of a fear of this boar? The Duke's Archives. Because you actually have to fight two of them in a little tunnel. Oh, this is terrible. This is really bad. Based on how quick these pricks move... Oh god, it's going to be me and this thing. Quickly. Attack me. Quick. No, 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 no. Get around it. Get around it. There's nothing I could have done. My only option there, it turns out, and I probably should have foreseen this, is to actually kill the rats, because otherwise I've got that enemy and very aggressive rats behind me. That's the only way to do it. The most frustrating thing about this is that I now have to go all the way back. So I'm going to take a different route. I'm going to go back to where Havel is. And do you know what? That is probably what I should have done in the first place. Maybe the reason why I didn't take this route initially was because I wasn't certain if I had the basement key. I should have been certain because I had already picked up the halberd and the basement key is close by. I wonder if I should fight that Black Knight. Because you do get the Black Knight's halberd from that, but I think despite this being a more dexterity-focused weapon, I think that's a bit too strength-focused to actually be worth using. Let's fight him. There's the Grasscrest shield down there. Hello. Whoa! You did the jump attack. Very good. I'm gonna fall down. Missed my backstab. You can actually shield and thrust with the thing, like it's a spear. I don't believe that's anything that can be done with this. Yeah, see? Can't do it with that. I'm not as familiar with the parry timings for the Black Knight using the halberd. So, I'm not going to be parry fighting him. Can I get around him? No. Oh, fuck. This is annoying. I used to know the parry timing. Gotta love Dark Souls, hey? It's one of those games. I don't know what it is. When I'm playing in my own time, I don't die at all, but maybe I just take more chances, and I think I take more chances, I'm more impatient, and I think, in addition to all of that, or rather, a comment to make that relates to both of those things is that doing so is more entertaining. And I'm more inclined to do it just for myself and for my own enjoyment, so I end up dying more. So it's not, you know, some intangible chance-based scenario where I'm performing much worse on camera. There's actually a reason why, as you would expect. Doesn't really help anyone to say that for some inexplicable reason I die so much more on camera. There is a reason, and I think I'm getting close to touching upon why. I'd say that would all factor in. Up we go. We no longer have Havel to worry about. But yeah, this was definitely the fastest route for me to take. I ended up losing the souls that I had on my person previously, but it wasn't much. And again, I can just grind for souls without much difficulty, so... We will actually go this way. I just wanted to kill that guy in case I needed to slow down and look at something. He tends to pursue you quite aggressively. God, they're very good at sniping, aren't they? Look at that! Get the hell away from me. It's a bit unfair, isn't it? I almost don't even remember what it's like. It's been so long, but... Fighting the Taurus demon for the first time, not realizing what kind of boss it's going to be, seeing that it's a really narrow corridor pathway, and then, well, seeing that it's on a bridge, how about we say that? And then you've got snipers behind you. I mean, what a fucking troll. What a From Software. Truly terrible. Alright, so we are coming up to the Capra Demon. I'm really not looking forward to this. And can I just say that it's not the Capra Demon himself that I'm averse to. It's not that. It's the dogs. And the small room. Because I can take on a Capra Demon, they're fine. They're regular enemies in a future area. But the fucking dogs, I just hate dogs, I hate how they move. I hate how they bite. I find them to be insufferable. They are ridiculous, truly ridiculous enemies that I can just live without. I would happily live a full life never seeing them again. These enemies can fuck off. Look at them. How aggressive are they? Alright, well, I'm about to get full bleed build up. Let's just retreat, because one thing that I am concerned about is limited Estus flasks. I've only got 3 right now, and I have limited health, so... let's return to this bonfire and consider what to do. What I used to do is I would actually make use of the Undead Berg bonfire. But what I will instead do is kindle this one. Because I could not be bothered going to the Firelink Shrine bonfire right now. I've been doing a lot of running around. So we're going to kindle this. That's fine. I don't actually remember where I got my humanity from. My twin humanity, sorry. That's what I mean. Trying to think of where I managed to pick that up. Maybe I... Oh, you are so annoying. Positioning yourself in the perfect spot for me to avoid. Or rather, to prevent me from moving to your left. What a prick. Alright, dogs. I shouldn't be doing this strong attack. That, just by pure chance, worked out very well, but... Oh my god. Oh my god. So the doors were already open. They don't open more than once, so... I have to retreat with my shield facing towards the enemies. Has to be done that way. He was going for a parry, but you see, he hadn't clocked the fact that I had a fucking halberd. Just hurry up. Just get it over and done with. Annoying prick. These guys are using hunter's knives, so they have a lot of bleed build-up. I think we've dealt with all of them, hopefully. At least all the ones that were in those rooms. Now these rooms will have their doors open up. There is a dog up ahead, but... oh, look at that. The way he throws that knife and then prevents me from hitting the other guy who's in front. By flinching me with the fucking knife. Oh, I should have gotten the wolf ring. How silly am I? I was in the Darkroot Garden and didn't get the wolf ring. That's a miscalculation. So for those who aren't aware, the wolf ring is something that you can get in the Darkroot Garden, which is actually something that I use in almost every build that I do in Dark Souls. And it increases your poise by 40 points. For some builds, that's the only poise that I get. Like, just that 40. Alright. I missed the roll. How did I miss the fucking roll? I've got no idea. Let's get ourselves up here. So I use these stairs to deal with the dogs, not for anything else. Get down! Drink. Alright, the dog's dead. That's what's important. I don't care what you're doing. The dogs are dead now, so... if I'm feeling really concerned about the Capra Demon, I will... oh my god, I couldn't see what was going on. I don't know if you're seeing this, but my camera is catching on everything in this recording. Oh shit, he fell down at the same time as me. There's a very high chance you won't be able to successfully shield that, by the way. I did press the circle button to roll through that, just to be very clear. Alright, let's... I was not expecting you to fall down that quickly. Normally, that's true. Normally what I would do is I would save a gold pine resin for this guy. Oh, I hate how he delays that swing. That's what fucked me up. He delayed his swing so much that, I don't know. You get nervous. If an attack is delayed too much, you almost get nervous and you do your evasive maneuver even though the timing is not ideal. Hello, Star Fury. My damage is really poor against this monster. Against this enemy, rather. Most frustratingly... Alright, whatever. Get out of my fucking way. I think I really needed to work on upgrading my halberd at least a little bit. So I can purchase Titanite shards. It's just annoying because I would have to make my way all the way back to Undead to do that. Well, not just that, I would have to get some souls. I would have to grind souls, purchase Titanite shards. Oh my god. Alright, I think I know what I'll do. I will go and get those souls back, the ones that I had, that I lost, on my bloodstain, and try to make use of those. I think it's 500 souls per Titanite shard. I actually have got no idea what souls I had on my person at that time, so I feel like logically it couldn't have been much. Look at how expertly that fucking Dregling positioned himself to block my path of exit. So I did have souls, I don't know where the fuck they are now, they're gone. So, rather, I don't know what they were, but they're gone. So, let's go and do what I said that I would do. We will go back to the fucking Darkroot Forest, grind some souls, level up this halberd, and then attempt the Capra Demon again, because our damage was just not good enough. Not at all. Oh, what am I doing? This is a slow route. I should go the way of Havel. Makes me sound like I'm referring to, you know, a method that Havel would use. No, I'm saying, literally, I'm going in the direction of where Havel is, and yeah. That will be much better than what I was about to do. Fucking hell. Yeah, I'm much happier with this idea. I don't know what the hell that shadow was. Was that from me or from an enemy pursuing me? That was off-putting, to be honest. Dark Souls is a very uncompromising game, Star Fury. It will... If you're impatient, you will be beaten down. If you take risks, you will be beaten down. That's what it does. Well, I've been playing Demon Souls since it released, and that game still gives me a run for my money on occasion. Although I haven't played Demon Souls for a while. The last time I played it was the last time I recorded it on the channel. I don't play it in my own time. But, yeah. It's not easy. There are certain moments that'll trip you up. I'm going the wrong fucking way. I actually forgot why I was going in this direction, otherwise I wouldn't have gone here. I guess I was focused on the topic of discussion. Not actually considering why I went in this fucking direction in the first place. We'll do some soul grinding, then level up the halberd, then fight the Capra Demon. Obviously, We already have our dexterity at a reasonably high level for this point in the game. So, what's lacking is our weapon. And as we upgrade this, I suspect the dexterity scaling will increase. Hopefully to a C. We'll see. Get it? Oh, for fuck's sake. Who has time to deal with tree people? I don't. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't want to do the chop, because you can see they're actually quite resistant to chopping. Why? Why would a tree be resistant to chopping? You would think, and I think it's probably cutting, I think that's the correct term, but, you know, trees get cut down, so how are they resistant to it? That's crazy. Why would thrusting into a tree be better? Someone needs to explain that to me. It's like the opposite of what you would expect. Have trees developed a resistance to cutting because they get cut down? Is that why? Is that the logic? So it's almost simultaneously illogical, yet also logical. That's amazing. Well, enjoy yourself, eh, gamer? It's at times like these that I wish that I had the Silver Serpent Ring. But I can't get that just yet. I have to actually place the Lord Vessel to be able to acquire it. Which means that Anor Londo must be completed. Because, yeah, you can reach the Tomb of the Giants at the very beginning of the game, technically speaking. But that golden door will be in your way if you haven't placed the Lord Vessel upon the altar of the kiln of the first flame. Just to be really completionist in my description. Oh, great. Well, hopefully the other two come. And then the sorcerer I will deal with separately, although it is not necessary for me to do so because he did eventually come. Which is a surprise. So I should be able to get my halberd up to +5 just through purchasing Titanite shards. And a halberd +5 will, I'm sort of crossing my fingers when it comes to this, give me a C scaling with dexterity if I'm lucky. Which will therefore make my previous investment in dexterity properly worth it. No, that is an absurd thing to do. You were that close to falling off the edge. Don't question yourself now. Just do it. Oh, hello. You really need to come off the edge. What are you doing? Alright. Alright, so I'm actually going to do one more run, and then see where I can take my halberd. One way or the other, I will do a reattempt at the Capra Demon with a +5 weapon. I'm not going to take it any further. I can actually get... Oh, hold on, where does the... Oh yes, I do need to kill the Capra Demon to be able to upgrade beyond +5 anyway, to get the large ember. So... even if I can get large Titanite from Blighttown, if I haven't reached the depths and acquired the large ember, doesn't matter. Can't upgrade beyond +5. Yeah. I think clunkiness is a good word. I say, yeah, in relation to that game, Dark Souls 2, I use, what's the word that I use? There is a particular word, but it relates to the slowness of the game, like your character moves really slow. It's deliberately, I think, made to actually make it harder to deal with enemies. So, if you're used to Demon Souls and Dark Souls, everything that you do on your controller will immediately be reflected in what your character does. It is snappy, it is quick, there is no bullshit. And you know why that's really good? It's because you are actually being valued by how you respond to the game. So yes, the game will throw challenges at you, but if you respond quickly enough, your character will immediately follow suit. But in Dark Souls 2, you've got this almost meandering slowness to your character that you then have to fight, in addition to the already present difficulty of the game. And that was entirely intentional. I think it's a terrible implementation. It was a stupid idea. It added nothing. Oh yes, I do have to buy some more Time Knight shards. How many do you think I need in total? I think it's either 8 or 9. Let's buy 8, so that we have a total of 9. I think it's 9. And we should have enough to get us all the way there. Yep, that should be perfect. Halberd plus 5, I was correct in my recollections. So we now have a C scaling in dexterity, as I was hoping. And we're now doing 216 damage, so it's 16 damage more than the Drake Sword. But at least we actually worked for it. We didn't just shoot arrows at a fucking dragon tail. So this is much more favourable than before. But yeah, the whole feeling of Dark Souls 2 is just... it feels unresponsive. It feels like you're having to fight the game to get anything done. And even little things, like let's say how they changed the backstab system. I understand why they did that. It's because backstabs can be easy or difficult, depending on the actual enemy that you fight. But if you don't know that that's something that can be exploited, the game is going to be very different for you. It's going to be notably difficult, like notably more difficult, versus a person who knows that backstabs can be exploited and will make use of them. Sometimes very liberally. I remember that, like at the height of my Dark Souls play, when I was trying to get my friends interested in it, I remember that this was going back to 2012, and one of my friends was like, "This looks like shit. All you're doing is just stabbing all the enemies in the back." And that was when I realized, shit, I do that a lot. I really do that a lot. It's because I was exploiting a system, in a way. The ease with which enemies could be backstabbed in this game was something that I was exploiting, and they did actually specifically try to change that in Dark Souls 2, but unfortunately, because the game feels so unresponsive, and because your character feels so unresponsive when you're playing with it, the way that they changed the backstab system just feels like an additional slowness to your character that you're having to deal with. So instead of it just being an instant backstab that responds to where you are in relation to the monster, or the enemy rather, you have to do this very awkward punch, and then almost pull the enemy into a position to then chop them in the back. It feels truly shit. It feels truly shit. So you look at Demon Souls, where the backstab animation felt a bit like it wasn't very good, okay? That was one of the things about Demon Souls that did not age very well, and I am referring to the first one, the original, not the remake. The backstab felt quite awkward. It was about the same as this game as far as getting it off, but the way it looked was very awkward. And that was just to do with it being a slightly older game. In this game, smooth as hell. Really nice, really satisfying, excellent. But then in Dark Souls 2 they ruined it again, on a visual level. It looked and felt like shit. So... Oh, I've still got 17,000 souls. Do you know what? Hold up. I'm going to level up with these souls because... Oh god. There's no need to run the risk of having them stuck in the boss room. Oh, I've gone the wrong way. Let's homeward bone back to... No, I'm not going to have the chance. Alright. Homeward bone back. But yeah, the point is that there was a decline, it was made better, and then it was made worse again. Just because they wanted it to be more difficult. And that was very frustrating to me. Vitality at 15 is okay. I'm alright with that. What should my focus be on at this point? Strength can stay at 16, most certainly. Yeah, let's do dexterity. It feels like the right time. I'll be back in a moment, just gonna go to the bathroom. One thing that you will have noticed is that you don't get to enjoy the ambient sounds of the game when I've actually opened OBS like this. Maybe I should do that, maybe... While I'm actually away, I specifically go back into the game. It's because when the game is minimized, OBS won't be able to capture anything from it. It'll just be a still image, I think. Probably not a good way to leave the game while I'm away from it. I'll keep that in mind. Alright. Capra Demon. Let's do it. Got better damage this time. I've caught up to what the Drake Sword damage was, or is rather, by actually building my character, instead of just having the damage automatically given to me for free. Fuck you. And fuck you. Never mind, he managed to just barely get me before I could hit him. I hate this creature. I hate dogs, I hate any hound in a Souls game. I hated them in Demon Souls, hate them in this game, and interestingly can't think of any in Dark Souls 2, but I think they returned in Dark Souls 3, and ugh, not a fan. Look at these tricky fucking pricks. As you can see, my damage is much more favourable now. Considerably better than before. Yeah, I don't mind dealing with the dogs first. As long as they don't get body blocked by these fucking... Oh, God. Get out of here. Annoyingly, the throwing knives, I think, also build up poison. Sorry, not poison. Bleed. I don't know if this is accurate or not, but do you know what? I was about to say something that just... No. It was getting into the mathematics of damage application in the game, and then I realized that I've got no idea how it works. And I was about to posit a theory about how it works, and then I thought, don't even do it. Because you've got no idea. You actually don't know. So, I'm not going to talk about it. Because I think, okay, I think you've got a set defense level for an enemy. And then it's also got resistances and then weaknesses to specific types of slashes. Or magic, etc. And I was trying to, so I think I was doing something like 220 damage. And you can see my damage with this weapon is very close to that. So I was trying to say, oh, maybe the difference between my damage and the amount of damage I'm dealing to them is actually from their weakness to thrusting attacks. But that doesn't factor in their natural defense. So, anyway. I'm not getting into it because I've got no fucking idea. I've never looked into it. Never cared. I just play the game. Come on, doggy. Fuck off. Fuck off! Alright. Dog. Not the dead one, I want the live one to come up here and die by my hand. As the Satyricon lyric would say. I'm rolling. Yep, that was what I was looking for. I wasn't too concerned about the dog hitting me, I was concerned about fucking Capra Demon hitting me. Where's the dog? There it is. Die, 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 die. Oh. Alright, so you... I will... Oh, unfortunately, he very quickly recovered from his fall because of the nature of the fall. Getting a little bit more aggressive now. I just felt my lack of stamina in that moment. I could definitely feel that. Ooh. There we go. That's the sort of drop that I want from him. One where he is very vulnerable for approximately 2 to 3 seconds. I meant to do a jump attack. Very good. Okay. Got that done. Much more doable when you've got fucking damage, isn't it? I'm glad that that's been dealt with. If you ever needed confirmation as to whether or not the camera's position is going to direct your weapon's thrust, well, it does, because that's exactly what happened now. Might depend on the weapon, I don't know. but that's exactly what just happened. I tested it in that moment, and I feel like the test was successful. Alright, do I want anything from you? Probably not. The reason why I'm here is to unlock the shortcut, so that I can purchase Homeward Bones from you in the future. 3, at this stage of the game, is sufficient. Just trying to speed things up. So our main reason for going into... Well, I shouldn't even say that. Our main reason for going into the depths is pyromancy? Well, what about the large ember? That's also very important, isn't it? I suppose it remains our main reason, but there's also something else that's absolutely essential to the build that's there, and that is the large ember. Oh, I thought that was the thought that was the exit. Gotta love the range of this weapon. I'm becoming more familiar with the timing of the R2, as you can tell. Alright, well that doesn't flinch him, which is important to note. Oh, he can backstab me! I didn't even know. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever been backstabbed by this. Oh my god. Well, if I had actually rolled to the side, maybe I'd be fine, but I rolled into him. I didn't know that he could backstab you. That has never happened to me, I don't think. If it has happened to me, I have no recollection of it happening. The last time it would have happened would have been so long ago, I can't even remember it. And I can remember a few things. Just as a general point. Unfortunately for you, there is a door in the way, and... Actually, that's a good question. Can those enemies even maneuver around the door? I don't know if they can. Might be... too advanced for them. Oh my god. Fuck these enemies. And you, I remember you causing issues for me last time. Well, not literally the last time, but I remember a time when you were causing issues. Oh, I just... Do you know what? Something about this area? I almost don't have the desire to deal with it anymore. I haven't been through it that many times. I've been through it maybe 4 times so far, but... It could be 10, as far as my desire to deal with it is concerned. It may as well be 10, is what I'm trying to say. See how he still manages to fucking get a hit off on me, despite my range. He can just launch himself... I don't know what killed you. I've got no idea what killed you. I'm going to have to review the tape. I've got no idea what just happened in that moment. What the fuck happened? He died before he could do anything. And I didn't hit him. He just died. Am I wrong in saying that? Maybe. Maybe I'm going crazy. Take that! Wasn't that a band? Yeah, wasn't that Robbie Williams? I think he was in Take That. Was it called Take That? I think so. If I'm wrong, I'm sure I'll be rightly kettled. But I think that was... I think that's what it was. Take That, wasn't it? God, Robbie Williams was a big deal when I was a kid. Robbie fucking Williams. Where did he go? I don't know. He got excited about aliens at one point, I think. I seem to remember that. But, yeah. I mean, as you do. But he definitely got excited. Yeah, Robbie Williams was like the early 2000s phenomenon. At least of the UK. I suspect that he was a big deal in the late 90s as well. But, yeah, particularly the 2000s, you know. Alright, let's go. Just have to make sure that I don't have any dogs after me. Oh yeah, you can actually be parried and... Oh, not with that weapon. You prick! That I do recall. He can hook you into a position. He's an interesting enemy. Look, I typically parry him and the confrontation is just that. Like, I parry him and he's dead, but I've been turning it into a rather intense confrontation. Do you know what? I just remembered something. I do actually have to go through the depths. Why? It's because I've decided that for my pyromancy build, I'm actually going to use the Thorn set, which will require me to engage. Is his name Dirk? He's got a name. He's definitely got a name. I think it's Dirk or something. What is going on? Desist. Alright, so he's indebted to me, etc, etc. Let's go to Filing Shrine, because I'm not fucking going through that stupid area again. I do need to actually challenge the depths as a location, because I need to be alive and fight the guy with the thorn armor. I must fight him in every location where he invades, and that is the depths, Demon Ruins, and Lost Isleth. And then I will get his armor. Oh my god, who's got time for this shit? I don't. Have you got time for this? Alright, that's all over and done with now. But yes. Is this even a good idea? Am I going the right... Oh no, I can't. Yes, I did unlock that shortcut. That's why I'm doing this. I'm thinking, why am I going to Filing Shrine? Yes, it's because I've unlocked the shortcut to get to the depths. Yes. Very good. Well played. Really, I must say, that was rather well played, Dominic. Good job. Good job. Oh. Tally-ho. Alright. I can level up twice more. This is probably with the Capra Demon souls. Feels almost weird to use the word demon and then souls. Or the words demon and souls next to one another. In a rather conjoined fashion. Alright. Forgetting to do something rather key. I was a bit distracted by the fact that I was leveling up. You guys need to relax, please. Yes, my leveling up distracted me from what I was actually doing. And that is reverse hollowing, which I now have to hold off on, at least briefly, so that I can get my fucking souls back, plus humanity. Come back to Filing Shrine, reverse hollowing, and then take on the depths. Seriously, what a fucking situation. Alright, where is my bloodstain? It's in here, presumably. Yes. I'm not using a Homeward Bone because I feel like that would be admitting some form of defeat. Not at all interested in that. Alright, we will conduct reverse hollowing. And then we will be in good stead to fight Dirk. I think his name is Dirk. What if it's not Dirk? What if it's completely different to that and I am misremembering something? Again, I'm doing that so that I don't get the glitch where I'm stuck sitting at the bonfire. Because I'm actually not playing the remastered version. In case anyone needed to be told. I would guarantee you that... Seriously? I'd be willing to put money on the fact that your average person who would tune into this here, thinking it's the remastered version, not actually realizing that it's the original version, I would put money on it. They would not know. Which hopefully makes it very clear how absurd the remastered version is. Just as a thing, as something that exists in this world. Maybe not now, but the fact that it existed in this world, I believe in 2018, I think that's when it came out. The fact that it existed, quite frankly, is ridiculous. And what is similarly ridiculous, and I think this is the calculation that From Software made at the time, what I find to be similarly ridiculous was that so many people who had been playing the Souls series since Dark Souls 2, and by that point had played Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3, didn't touch the first Dark Souls until that remaster released. They needed to put their baby bib on and get spoon-fed the fucking game to play it. Even though it's one of the best games ever made. I mean, it's absolutely extraordinary, if you think about it. That these people basically needed to be sat in a high chair with a little mini table in front of them, being spoon-fed by their mother in order to play one of the best games ever made. I mean, it was on PS3, 360, and PC. And they needed a remastered version in less than 10 years of its release. I mean, anyway. Is that a failure of the community to communicate how important it is to play the game? Or is it... do you know what? Yeah, that probably is what it is. It's probably a failure of the community to communicate that. Alright, so it's going to take a little while for me to reach the point where he will invade me. I don't particularly want to fight this giant rat. Believe it or not, because the depths is an optional location, I don't have much experience going through it. So I'm going based on fairly old memories in traversing this area. This is obviously the location where people tend to get cursed. I remember that happening to me. That actually happened in my first playthrough of this game. It was very disconcerting. Why is there a channeler here? This is terrible. No, what is this? Enter through the mist. Okay. Well, obviously I don't usually go in this direction because I have no memory of this at all. How about that? That's how little I've played the depths. Oh. If you ever see a drop from a rat, pick it up. Pick it up. That's a reference of some kind. Oh, didn't quite reach him. And you evaded me. Shockingly. I think I am actually rather close to sewer chamber key. Okay. Well, whatever direction you're supposed to go through in the depths, I think I've gone in that correct direction. This is playing out very well. Where the hell is this? That's a big hole, I think. Yes, if I continue down here, I think I will eventually get to where I'm invaded. Whoa, there's a lot of rats here. I think I'm misremembering it. I don't think there are this many rats. In fact, this is a... Oh, the Great Axe. Okay. That's where the Great Axe is. Look, I'm not much of a strength build person, so... I do not often find myself getting the Great Axe. Ugh. Oh. You again. I think I want to drop down, actually. I've been evading them. I'm sure if I had a firebomb, you would not be lasting very long. But I don't have a firebomb. Yep, okay, so I want to drop down here. This is where the basilisks are. Hello. Just be aware of where the cloud is. It dissipates fairly quickly, like within 5 seconds. Maybe not quite 5 seconds, but it does dissipate. Dangerous shit. But yeah, I do remember in my first build being very, very concerned. Like, I actually played while cursed for some time with my first build. Because it was a new system. It was a new feature. Didn't exist in Demon Souls, so I had no idea what the hell was going on. And I was quite upset about it. I remember I stopped playing for a few weeks because of it. Seemed like a very unfair system. But there was a solution. I just had to speak to Oswald of Karim, I believe. But I think you can either get uncursed through him or purchase purging stones from him. One of the two. But yeah, it was very annoying at the time. It was my very first playthrough. And that does stick out to me. Very memorable. As being a very frustrating situation. Alright. Yes, okay. I think I'm getting ever closer to where I get invaded by Thorn Armor Man. There's a creepy background rat. Like, not a real rat that I can actually interact with, just a background rat. That is the technical term that I have concocted. Oh, let's deal with... unless those rats pursue me. Are those rats going to pursue me? Looks like they are not, which is good. Oh. Let's just approach this nice and carefully. The thing is, when he rolls, he can actually hurt us because he's using the Thorn Armor. Oh, very damaging. Clever prick. Goodbye. We don't get anything... Well, I think we get something from him now. Or perhaps nothing. Yeah, nothing for now. I think we got humanity in that moment. Not much. So we don't... Fuck off! We don't get the weapon. We don't get shit. Alright. No, I'm not fighting the gaping dragon. I'm sure it might be... I may have tantalized you by going that far through the depths. You may have thought that I would be fighting the gaping dragon. No. It's not happening. Alright. Is it perhaps time for... I've got some Titanite chunks, but I do not have any large Titanite, unfortunately. It may be time for Yes, let's do it. Quelaag. Must deal with you first. Can I just say that for almost the entirety of this recording, there have been things happening that never happen when I play solo, which relate mostly to these stupid deaths that I've been having. Can I tell you that when I'm playing solo, I never successfully kick him off like that. Never, never, never. Not because I'm failing to kick, but because this here, do you see this little line? That actually acts as a wall that prevents him from moving backwards at all. I always get him stuck on that. And it takes a lot of kicks to get him off. In this scenario, while recording, 2 kicks. Yeah, right. It's as if I have a playthrough that I can expect while not recording, and then one that I can expect when recording. And they are complete opposites of one another. It's ridiculous. That's how it feels. But anyway. I do have 14,000 souls, but what I will do is... no. No, I will. No, Okay. I'm not going to take you on the mental gymnastics experience that I just had in my head. But, long story short, I am alive. I will kill Man-Eater Mildred. I will summon her for Quelaag. I will then kill Quelaag. I will fight Ceaseless Discharge. Kill him. Get a fuck ton of souls and then homeward bone back to Firelink Shrine. And none of this will actually require me to rest at a bonfire. Because otherwise I won't be able to homeward bone back to Firelink Shrine. What was confusing me before was that I was about to say, oh, hold on, I do actually need to rest at that bonfire in order to get Man-Eater Mildred, because I need to conduct reverse hollowing. In reality, I do not. For I am already alive. Alright. I don't know where she is, but... oh. There she is. Come hither. I am a man, so you must be hungry. How satisfying is that? Just this massive halberd impaling her. Oh, wasn't able to chain backstab, but that's alright. The hell was that? Get out of here. Alright, so we got the butcher knife. Hopefully because I've killed those annoying pricks. Wow! Can you believe that after having gone through the Darkroot Garden as much as I have done, I didn't actually manage to get a poison moss clump? What the fuck? Are you for real? I'm going to have to endure poison for this boss fight. Fine. It seems unfair and even incomprehensible, but that is my lot. That is what I have been given today, so I'll just have to put up with it. Heal, prick. Alright. So I did manage to get an additional humanity in my counter, presumably as a result of killing Man-Eater Mildred. Looks to be that way. There is her summon sign. She's a sexy lady. Well, to those who like chunky women. Amazing chest ahead, and skip. Oof. She doesn't often jump around this much. she's not losing much health. I don't know if I think I'm covering the start of her health bar. I can assure you she's not taking much damage. Wow. It's a little bit disconcerting. So how I would usually approach it is I would use 1 gold pine resin for the gargoyles, 1 for the Capra Demon, and then 1 for her. Sometimes I would skip the Capra Demon one entirely. In other words, I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't use it. And then I would have 2 for Quelaag. She's lost a decent amount of health though, and that can be attributed to, at least in part, Man-Eater Mildred. Oh no, that might kill me. I chose the worst time to do the strong attack. I fucking knew I would do something like that. I knew I would do something stupid. Because that's an attack that you can avoid, but it's very damaging, and sometimes you get stuck. That's going to conclude this recording. End on a low note, but that's alright. My nose is very blocked. I have ways of resolving it, but I have to get up to do it. So, yeah, I do thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time I'm recording, and I shall bid you farewell for now. Goodbye.